Good morning. I'm here again with my morning coffee, cappuccino. Yesterday was pretty good. I got a chance to help two people, which felt really great. Someone was asking about slow metabolism, and another person was asking about belly fat. That's a really common question, how to get rid of belly fat. The thing with belly fat, though, is it deposits itself differently on men versus women. Men seem to have more fat tissue around their belly, and women have a lot more fat tissue around their hips, butts, and thighs. But nevertheless, due to a poor diet, your body starts to accumulate a lot more fat in the center part of your body, especially as you get older. Your ability to burn calories slows down because of aging process, and our physical activity just goes down too. So then your body has to store all that extra fat somewhere. Hey, Crystal is up this morning. Good morning, Crystal. I wanted to tell you guys a little story about how I got into fitness because I don't think I ever thought that I was going to be getting into fitness, to be quite honest. When I went to college, I was trying to be a doctor. And originally, actually, when I was like about 10, living in Panama, I wanted to be a doctor and a ballerina at the same time. So I don't know where I get that idea from. I love to dance and I always liked medicine. So when I went to college and I was taking pre med, I realized, oh my goodness, these classes are harder than I thought. So I switched over to business and managed to finish getting my degree in business, but it was boring. Um, and so then I kind of got into medicine in a backwards kind of way. But let me go back just a little bit. Like, you know, in those movies where they kind of rewind things and you get them to have the stories. Okay, so I was in middle of college, halfway through, couldn't finish. I had just been married. Yep, this is my second marriage. I married this guy who used to annoy me in high school. If he sees this, he's gonna be pissed off. Um, and he didn't annoy me, but he was my boyfriend, kind of like my only boyfriend, because I was really pathetic in high school. And I went off to the military in the 80s, 1989, guys. That's when I first got in the military, 1989. So while I was in the military station at Fort Gordon, Georgia, I believe it was Fort Gordon, Georgia, I was bored on, not knowing what to do. I was young, not single, married, and trying to find something to do. And I went into the gym. Before, when I was in college, I was in gymnastics, which was a lot of fun, really great fun. I did gymnastics in college and high school. But then I went into this gym and I found, I saw the guys lifting and I was like, well, there's something to do. I might as well do it. And I saw this guy, this big guy, white guy, big white guy, training with the weights. So I asked him, I was like, "What are you doing? What is all this? What's all this weight stuff about?" And he had these big guys all around him, huffing and puffing and all this stuff. And he says, "Well, we're lifting, we're doing bodybuilding and powerlifting competitions." And I started asking him all about it. He said he was a powerlifting coach, but he wanted to switch over to train a girl into bodybuilding. So I was like, bodybuilding? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'm bored. I don't have anything else to do. I didn't know what bodybuilding was. And so I started lifting weights with him. He started teaching me to lift weights, and I was lifting with like the biggest guys in the gym. And I was so teeny tiny, little Delcina and all the big guys, and it was kind of like a club. I was like their little, I don't know, maybe princess or something. They would protect me. And so we would lift all the time in the gym. They're making all this noise and grunting, slamming the weights. Like back in the days, anybody used to work out in the gym, just crazy with the weights. They were so outlandish, out crazy. And then after working out every day, we'd go to eat at like a buffet place. They hated to see the bodybuilders coming to the buffet place at the end of the day because they were gonna eat until there was nothing left. And I learned then the reality of eating more to lose weight. And that was a really tricky thing because, as you're growing up as a girl, you always think, oh, well, I want to lose weight, so I need to eat less food and I need to just be dainty and just do cardio. But no, when I was learning to be a power lifter, I learned that you have to eat more to support the physical activity that you do because that physical activity is what helps you to transform your body. And you need calories in order to do that. It's kind of like, your food is your fuel. So if you don't have enough fuel in your tank, you can't work out to teach your body to change. So that's where I first learned that principle. Now, so he was teaching me, to be a bodybuilder, and it was early 80s, I mean, late 80s. A lot of girls weren't into that at the time. But I got into my first contest, and I think it was called Miss Nuclear City. That's right, it was called Miss Nuclear City. And it was just me and one other girl. I got into the contest, learned how to pose, and I won. I was like, yay! My first contest, I won. I still have the trophy too. It's so jacked up though. I need to just put them all somewhere else. But I got into this contest, Miss Nuclear City, and that's where I first got my first hit. And I was really loving weight training. I realized that with weights, you could really transform your body and you had so much more energy. And, it seemed to me like a simple fact of sculpting. You kind of, the sculptor has their material, they put it together, and with the weight training, he's like chipping it away and shaping it up. And on top of that, you feel more secure, more powerful. I mean, I was the smallest girl working out with guys who were 250 pounds, almost 300 pounds, but that didn't intimidate me at all because when I got under the weights, I could, I could squat 250 pounds. I could bench press my whole body weight and it felt powerful and it felt good. And I wasn't looking like a man at all. I just looked like a small, very fit, very toned, and very confident person. And I think that may be why I got some of my little sarcasm or this extra level of confidence that I would show out in public because when you feel powerful on the inside, it shows on the outside. And so that's what weight training did for me. And I really, really enjoyed it, really loved it. By the way, as a side story, that's where I met my husband, Steven. Um, I was getting divorced from the other guy. And I met Steven and in the gym, but he wasn't part of the popular weightlifting group. He was just kind of one of those guys over to the side there. Anyway, and so, that's kind of what got me all loving and getting involved in this. So I entered a few contests. It was great. It was fun. And I just kept on lifting after that because I just loved the way it made me feel. It gave me a sense of power. And now I understand too why guys love weightlifting. I wish girls would love weightlifting the same way too. But I think girls get this misguided or have received this misguided myth that if you lift heavy like the guys, you're going to look like the guys. But that's nearly impossible without anabolic steroids or something like that because you have your genetic material already encoded in your body for a female. That's why the X and Y chromosomes determine what you're going to be. And what the outside influence of nutrition and weight training does is it just sort of enhances that. Okay? So if you have a small waist and you lift heavy, you're still going to have a small waist. If you have a wide back and you lift heavy, you're going to get a wide back. And what that does is when you lift heavy and you use weights, you use more muscle tissue. When you use more muscles, you burn more calories. And as you burn more calories, then your body can use them from fat and go on. And if you eat right and sufficiently, then your body can use that fuel to support the muscle mass. Then you have this lean, strong body that you can maintain longer, but you have to eat sufficiently. So many people get caught up in eating less to lose weight, then they end up with this skinny fat person, which is basically someone who may have lost a lot of weight, but they're, kind of wishy-washy, like marshmallowy, or you have a lot of cellulite, and it's just, you see my face, I can hardly hide my expressions, but it's not the direction I think most people want to go. And so through that first experience, I learned and understood that you have to eat enough to support an active body. And an active body will reward you with a toned physique and health. And that is the key right there that I keep trying and trying to teach my clients over and over. Don't be afraid to eat to support your goal. You just have to make sure, though, that you're not eating or filling up your lifestyle with, junk food. And I think most people know what junk food is. If it came in a box and it was processed and it was in a factory and it has a list of like 25 things on the ingredient list, you probably shouldn't be eating that on a regular basis, right? And if it's whole food, if it's something that came out of the ground and you can identify it, like an apple is an apple, a pear is a pear, or a potato is a potato, then those are the kind of things we should be eating most often. And it's simple, but it's not simple because we live in this super fast food world that just shoves all this crazy stuff at us because it's quick, it's high in fat and sugar, it tastes good, and you want stuff quick. We want quick, 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 quick all the time. But you gotta slow it down. If you slow it down, you can make the changes you need to make. Oh my goodness, it's 11 o'clock already. My coffee is getting cold. Mm. I have to end this chat because after I finish my cappuccino, I'm going to go do my yoga. I'm doing yoga every day for the month of April, which is turning out pretty good. I'm kind of liking the way I'm looking. Anyway, talk to you guys later. Love you. If you have any questions, like I said on the last post, I'm looking to help anybody who has questions about fitness and nutrition. If it's within my scope, I'll be more than happy to answer you right here on Facebook. If it's not, I'll guide you in the right direction. Easy peasy, right? I just want to give back because I'm going to die with all this knowledge in my head. I might as well give it to somebody. Okay, bye bye. As I say on my radio show, bye bye.